feel so pale whenever I wear black lipstick because it's just so drastic that I look like Snow White or something like that. But anyway, hello and welcome. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to check out another one of my videos, and welcome back to KateMas. In today's video, we're going to be looking back at my best of beauty for 2019. This is about a year ago at the time of me uploading this that I shared my best of beauty for 2019. I went back and watched the video. I remember that day so vividly. I was very, very pregnant, and at the time I had my second son, the youngest at the time. I was pregnant, but he was almost 2 and he had his first stomach bug, and so I remember having to deal with that while trying to film during his nap, and it was just a hot mess. But on my eyes were Glimmer's neon pigments. I remember trying those out. It brought back so many memories watching that video, and I'll leave a link down below if you want to see in case you weren't following me back then. It was a fun eye look, and for trying to take care of a sick child while doing my makeup that morning, I didn't think it turned out too bad. But anyway, today we're going to be looking back at that video, and I want to revisit all the products that I named as my best of beauty, my favorite, absolutely best product from the year, and see if it still holds true today, or have I moved on to find either different products, or maybe my skin changed up, or maybe just my preferences moved on, or it just wasn't as good as I thought it was and my love waned, I guess you could say. But anyway, that's what we're going to be doing today. I have the list of products and I pulled them all out so we could go over them. So let's go ahead and just jump right into it and get talking about all the products that I loved last month and see if they're still loves today. The first one that I named being the L'Oreal Infallible 24-Hour Fresh Wear Foundation. This product right here, it's still a fantastic product. Oh my goodness, I think a month or two ago I had it in my rotation Shop My Stash, so I was using it not every day, I always change it up, but I was using it pretty consistently, and I know I've reached back for it several times over the past year. So this is one that, for me, and if you guys seen any of my Shop My Stash, you know I have a large collection, so I never wear something like repeatedly all year long. However, if I go back for it multiple times throughout the year, that definitely tells me that I love it enough to always have it on the mind and always want to use this, and this is definitely one of those foundations. I just love how lightweight it is, but it still gives me a decent amount of coverage without looking too high coverage. This is a foundation that I love to wear when I go to the church services on Sunday, back when we used to do that sort of thing. I would love to wear this because it looks so natural. It looks like my skin but better, but it still gives a lot of coverage without looking cakey, and I just feel like I can feel a lot more natural and like low maintenance with my makeup with this on, and I still had that flawless kind of even coverage base. So this has definitely been a favorite foundation. It was a favorite of 2019 and it still holds true today. I have tried several foundations over the past year of 2020 and nothing has trumped this for sure. There have been good foundations, but this one, there's just something special about the formula that L'Oreal really hit the nail on the head, and I really love it, and I still do. So this one, totally still stand behind. It is a fantastic product, and if I picked older products to like shout out and say best of beauty in the year, which I try not to do because I try so much new makeup, I try to just focus on the newer ones I've tried, but if I did, this would definitely get a spot because this is an older product that I still absolutely enjoy and just think it wears so beautifully. Anybody with really good eagle eyes can let me know in a comment how many times I have black lipstick on my teeth. Anyway, moving on, the next one is also foundation. This is the Maybelline 24-Hour Foundation Super Stay Foundation. I picked this up because Emily Noel had really great things to say about it, and I think she used it when she had a baby because she wears makeup when she delivers, and I want to say she's done a few other really big moments for her. She would choose to wear this for really tough days, for really long wearing days, so I was like, you know what? Emily Noel got that because she's about to have a baby. I need to get that and see how it wears, and it is beautiful. This is kind of my foundation of choice when I will take pictures or I just want my makeup to be absolutely flawless and a lot more full coverage than this one. This one, it just gives a little bit more coverage, a little bit more of a full coverage look as well. It's a little bit more makeup-y, I guess is how I would say. I love to use this with a sponge, and then I feel like I can get a much more lighter, more airbrush and not so cakey of a finish. It gives a really nice coverage. It gives a very, you know, airbrush look to my face, and it just makes my skin look really nice. I think that is a big thing with both of these foundations. While one is a little bit more light coverage, one's a little bit more heavy coverage, they both just make my skin look really nice, and they wear really well. Both of these, I don't think I mentioned here, but they both wear so well. They're a foundation I can put on in the morning, and as long as I kind of prep my skin and I don't cake this one on, it will look so good at the end of the day that I just can't believe how well it looks. Like, I look in the mirror at night and there isn't really any oils breaking out, there isn't any makeup breaking up in this area, which is very impressive. So yeah, this is a foundation that I definitely feel like over the course of the year that I've been reaching back for, because I definitely have reached for this again. I just took pictures a couple weeks ago, and this is what I chose for our family pictures. But I definitely have to be a little careful not to cake this on, so that's why I tend to prefer it with a sponge, because it's easier to kind of airbrush and make sure you don't cake it on too much. But that really is the only con for me. If I am careful, get a nice even coverage, use a sponge, it's beautiful, I love it, and it's still a favorite today. Next up, I named the Catrice Camouflage High Coverage Concealer, and this is still a very big favorite. This is actually a new tube from the original one I bought last year, so that is telling you something for me to use up an entire tube and then repurchase it. And I mean, I don't think I'm super close to being done, but there's definitely an empty gap in here from me using it so often, and this is just such a nice concealer. It's nothing that I would say is like super heavy coverage, but it is just such a beautiful lightweight concealer that really brightens. I feel like that's kind of what I love about this. It sits so nicely under my eyes. I set it with my trusted powders and it doesn't crease at all throughout the day, and it just looks so natural, and it's not cakey, but it gives a little bit of coverage, and it's just that perfect kind of medium tone of like not being too thick and heavy coverage, but not being so light coverage that it doesn't do anything, because this definitely does do something. I do call it light coverage, but I don't want to scare you away in thinking that it just lets all your dark circles shine through. I definitely don't think that. It does give a nice coverage. It's just nothing heavy coverage, but I love it for the natural days. I love it for the days when I'm not really wanting to totally conceal everything, and this is definitely one of the concealers that I think of and reach for if I'm going super neutral with my face, maybe not even doing any kind of powder foundation or liquid foundation or anything like that, just a little bit of concealer, and I want to, you know, put a little bit of contour and call it a day. This is one of the concealers that I think of because it just works so well with my skin. It is not as noticeable on my skin if I'm just wearing concealer that I just have a bit of concealer under my eyes. So yeah, still a big favorite of mine. I've used it so much this past year. Next up, I had the Maybelline Fit Me Loose Finishing Powder as a favorite, and absolutely, I still love this. It's currently in my makeup drawer. Like, I'm using it right now this past month, and I used it the month before that because I just enjoy it so much. I feel like I should be, yeah, I'm getting kind of down there. You see where it's at? It's a fantastic powder. It is so lightweight. It's not fragrance that I remember. Not a fragrance that I can tell at least. And it's so lightweight and beautiful on the skin. It's one of those loose powders that I can use to either set my eyes, I can set my face, I can use it on the days when I just want to put a little bit of like a palette just dropped. Anyway, I can use a little bit of like a tinted moisturizer, but I want to set it so it's not sticky. I'll use this, and it's just beautiful, and it makes my skin feel so very smooth, and it just does a great job. So this is a powder that I can definitely see myself repurchasing it because it's just so nice and effortless, and I don't have to like think about it. I don't have to worry about like a white cast being left behind because this does have a little bit of a tint to it. It's in Fair Light 10, so yeah, still love it, still recommend it, definitely going to use it, and I can foresee myself repurchasing it. Next up, I have the Cargo bronzer in matte is what it's called, but this right here, this is the only thing that I have grown to really not like about this, but I really struggled to get the cover off. Besides that, I still love this just as much as I did last year. It is a very natural bronzer, and it's one of those bronzers that's not too cool tone, but it's not super warm, so I can use this on the days when I just want to do a one and done and kind of contour and bronze all at the same time. This is one of those products that I can do it. It's more of a buildable formula, so it's not too intense right away, so you don't have to be too careful, but it's just beautiful. I think my favorite way to use it is as more of a bronzer and then reach for something else as a contour, but it does work for both for me and my preferences, and I just love that it's not too warm, it's not too pigmented, so I can really go ham, and I don't have to worry about having a streak on my face like I can have some days because I like to go ham with my bronzers and contours. But yeah, I still really do like it. I've used it several times over the past year. The only con, and I mentioned before in a packaging pet peeves video, but I just really don't like the packaging because sometimes the first time I open it after not opening it for a while, it can be a struggle. I also named the Milani Silky Matte Bronzer in the shade 02 Sunkissed. I'm gonna hold it up very carefully because I did drop it the other day and it cracked. I had major pan on it, like almost to the second ring here on the bottom, and then I dropped it face down and it's now cracked. So I need to sit and repress it so I can continue using it because this is a beautiful bronzer. Kind of the same line as the Cargo. It's one of those bronzers that you can use, for me personally, I can use it to contour and bronze, and honestly it's a better color for me to do that than the Cargo. The Cargo is a little touch warm, but this is just such a beautiful cool tone bronzer, but it has just a drop of warmth in it where I feel like I can do bronze and contour all at the same time, and it's hands down, if I had to pick my #1 favorite bronzer or contour in my collection, it would be this one. I definitely know that whenever this is used up, I am absolutely repurchasing it because it's just a gorgeous formula. It's not too pigmented, it's silky soft, and the color is just so spot on for what I like. I don't ever want to be without this. That's how much I love it. So yeah, while it is cracked and I do need to give it a little TLC so I can continue using it because I haven't used it since I dropped it and cracked it, I absolutely love this. I stand 100% behind what I said last year. It's still a favorite and I am absolutely repurchasing this whenever it is officially done. Next up, I named the ABH Amrezy palette. This was, I was very late to the game, but I bought it last year off of, like, several people were mentioning it, and I've just always had FOMO over this highlighter, and I think the one that finally pushed me over the edge was Annette mentioned it, and it was either at the top or towards the top of her like ranking video for highlighters. So finally I was like, okay, I need to see if I can get my hands on it, and I found out on Poshmark, I think for just like a couple dollars, if not just the price that it originally was. So it was a great price considering this is discontinued. So I snatched it up and I absolutely love it. I totally understand what the hype is about. It's just such a gorgeous formula. It's one that's really easy. It's not too flaky and dry. It's not too like glittery or anything like that. It just goes on so smooth and just looks stunning. I don't have it on today, so if you're seeing the shine, that's from Lethal, but I really do enjoy this. It's one of those like really blinding, really smooth, and just a very easy formula. I feel like it's one of those formulas that looks flattering on so many different types of skin tones and skin textures, which I think is one of the reasons why this was raved about so much, is because it's not too glittery, it's not too chunky, it's not too powdery, which some like Ofra. I love Ofra's highlighter formula, but it is very powdery. This, however, is not the case. It almost feels like it has hard pan. It's that pressed, but the pigmentation that comes off just from like 1-2 is insane because it's just so pigmented, and the shine is beautiful. So I'll stop going on and on about it because it is discontinued and I don't want to sit here and yammer on about something you can't get anymore. But I understand everyone raving about this. ABH and Amrezy did a fantastic job, and this is one of those products that I understand people wanting limited edition to be limited edition and done because they don't like being, you know, swindled like that and kind of tricked like that. But however, this product is so very good. I do feel like it's a little bit of a misfortune for more people not to be able to get it and for it not to be a permanent item. I also named the Milani Afterglow in Strobelight 902 as a favorite. Now this one I actually feel like I can't call it a favorite or a yearly favorite or best of the best anymore because I don't know if I've worn it since then. I know that's pretty bad, right? Oof. But honestly, maybe I've worn it once or twice, but I really haven't worn it much. I haven't thought about it much, which is why I think I can't really name this as a favorite because it's not really one that comes to mind. With that said, though, I feel like I've tried a lot of highlighters this year, so, you know, keep that in mind. I'm trying new highlighters, a lot of really great highlighters like the Lethal one that I have on today, so, I mean, keep that in mind, and, you know, I can't always keep everything a favorite. Anyway, all that to say, this one, I don't really think, like I said, maybe once, 1 month I pulled it to wear it, and I can't even remember if I wore it that often then. So this is one that, while I still think it's beautiful, I remember really enjoying it, I don't think it's, you know, it just hasn't stuck around in my memory long, and so therefore I don't ever think to use it, so I can't really call this a favorite. So maybe in 2021 I'll rediscover it. Okay, next up is the Vamp stamp. Oh my goodness, you guys. I'm sure this comes as no surprise if you are following and watching any of my videos for any length of time, but I am always raving about this thing, and literally 99, I probably could say 99, yeah, 99% of the time when I do my makeup in the morning, I'm using this. Every once, like a great once in a while, I'll just wing it and do it myself, or even more rare, I'll just do no liner or just like line my eyes and not wing anything out. But majority of the time, 99% of the time, I'm winging it out and I use this thing because it just makes it so very easy. I used it today even though I have a brown liner on, and I just took the brown liquid liner that I had and I put it on either side and stamped it on. So you don't need to get the little stamp that it comes with, which is right here. This thing is so dried up, but I'm still nursing it because it is very convenient to have just a sponge to dab on there, but you don't need this is what I'm saying. I just keep nursing something that's trying to die. Anyway, this tool though, absolutely love it. I cannot recommend it enough. If you like doing wing liner or you want to try to do wing liner or you're just not very good at winging it out yourself, highly recommend you get this. It's worth every penny. I do know that Vamp Stamp has kind of closed its doors since the whole pandemic started. I really hope that they can make a comeback or at least hang on until they're able to open back up because this tool is the best. I've tried the Quick Flick, I think. I'll have a video up here where I compared the two, but they're tools where like you buy it and it's already got the ink inside, and while they work-ish, watch the video if you want more information, it doesn't beat this because this is a tool. You buy it once and you can use it with any liquid liner, whereas the other tools, they have the ink in them, so you have to repurchase them every 3 to 6 months like you would a typical liner. So money-wise, I don't see those as being better than this because this is just so much more cost-effective. But even, you know, just the way it works, this I just feel like works so much better. So I'm going to stop going on and on about because I could forever, but I really hope Vamp Stamp is able to hold on during the pandemic because they created something magical with this. I'm dropping. I also discovered the Essence Super Precise Eyeliner. I used this just the other day and it is fantastic. I absolutely love it. This is very comparable in my eyes to the NYX Matte Liquid Liner that everyone raves about and I own and I rave about as well. However, this is a little bit cheaper and I feel like it's almost just as good as that. Maybe it's not as intensely black and pigmented, but just like a hair behind the NYX one. So in that respect, I feel like it's such a comparable product. If you were eyeing that, or maybe you don't want to spend the money on that one, even though the NYX one is like $6, this one's just a couple dollars cheaper. Or maybe if you don't have NYX available, you have Essence available to purchase, I definitely recommend this. I think it's such a fantastic liquid liner and I don't hear anyone ever talking about it, but it is fantastic. I absolutely love it and I still love it today. I would still name this as a yearly favorite because I've used it so much this past year. 2019 was the year I discovered MoxieLash and I named the liner obviously, but also Sassy Lashes as a favorite from the year. And Sassy Lashes, I would still 100% agree. This type of lash is beautiful and when I was trying so many different magnetic liquid liners this past year, these Sassy Lashes were definitely a go-to when I had to test them out and whatnot. I prefer these. I just like the style and I like how they look on my lashes, so they are definitely my go-to, my preferences. I have a lot of magnetic lashes now, but these are definitely still a top favorite, so I still stand behind calling this a yearly favorite. I feel like it's fantastic. And then the liner still is really good. I have tried this past year Glamnetic, and I did a video comparing MoxieLash and Glamnetic, and I'll put that right here. And while I do think Glamnetic is really good, if you want more bulletproof than MoxieLash, I definitely think Glamnetic is the way to go. However, and I guess I didn't say it very well in my video because I got a little bit of flack from some people saying that I was just biased against Glamnetic, even though Glamnetic was the better one. And I definitely think that Glamnetic is better in the longevity. Like, it's just, the liner does not want to budge. However, for a mom who's very busy, by the time I get to the end of the day, I want my liner off. And the amount of effort it took me to get the Glamnetic liner off really detracted it in my eyes. So when I did my video, I still really love and prefer the MoxieLash because it holds my lashes, my magnetic lashes all day long and it comes off a lot easier than the Glamnetic one. And also too, the Glamnetic is a very shiny looking liner, which isn't my preference, and the MoxieLash is matte, which is my preference. So while I do definitely think that the Glamnetic one is a fantastic liner and I do enjoy it, I think it's great. I wasn't saying it was a bad product, but if I had to pick a favorite between these two because they both work really, really well, I like not spending an extra 10 minutes removing it. So I like the MoxieLash more because the Glamnetic, like, it was a struggle to get off. And maybe it's just me. I don't know. It could definitely be. But for me and my personal experience, I did not like fighting with the Glamnetic to try to get it off. So I like the MoxieLash better. I also named the Thrive Causemetics Instant Brow Fix Semi-Permanent Eyebrow Gel. I named this as a favorite from last year, and this is actually my backup one. I have it in the box, and I think I'm actually going to pass this on to one of my sisters because I feel like it's not going to work for me. It looks a little bit warm. I may try it because I did use up my tube and it's no longer here, but I absolutely love it. So I think I'm going to try this and see if it works. It's in the shade Aubrey, and if it's too warm, I'll give it to one of my sisters because I absolutely, like I said, I really do like it. I'll go ahead and open it since I do want to open it and use it. Yeah, it looks a bit warm. We'll see. But the thing I like about it most is look how tiny that wand is. It makes it so easy to really fluff it up and work it through, and not only fluff it up and get on my lashes to lay down, but also to really get it on my skin to kind of tint it enough so that I don't need to fill in my lashes. And that's what I like. I like a brow gel that can make it look like I filled in my lashes, but I didn't have to take all that time to fill them in. And that's what this gave me. I don't feel like it held my lashes in place. It's been a while since I finished my tube. I can't remember if it held it in place that long, but I love how it tinted. I love how easy it was to apply. I love the applicator. So while I did use it up and I hadn't opened another one till today, I will say that if this color doesn't work for me, I'll go ahead and repurchase a different color and have it back in my collection because I really do miss it. So I feel like that says a lot for how much I enjoyed it. I am missing it enough to want to go seek it out to have it because it's just such a fantastic applicator, a fantastic color, great formula, and it's a great product. I named the Glitter Goals Liquid Liners from NYX as a yearly favorite. You guys know I love to cut my crease with a glitter liner, and these are absolutely fantastic. I have since moved on to discover JD Glow, though they don't have as many liquid liners. I think they have like 4 or whatever glitter liquid liners. Those are really pretty. But for the drugstore, you know, something a little bit more easily accessible than JD Glow, these are fantastic, and I definitely would want to get more colors. I've used these so many times, but I feel like a gold and a silver are just like the staple. Different colors are fun, but also too with glitter liners, they do dry out relatively quickly, and since I don't do glitter, you know, cut creases every day, I feel like a gold and a silver is enough for me to get that variety, for me not to have to go out and buy like 10 or 12 of them that I won't finish. So I got the silver and the gold, and I use them a lot whenever I want to just cut my crease. I just apply these. These are so nicely pigmented. I think that's the biggest thing that I love about it, is that you can do a line and you can actually see it. A lot of liquid liners, glitter liquid liners, you'll do the line and it'll be so, I don't even know if you guys can see it because I did such a tiny line, but trust me when I say it's a very opaque line. And a lot of liquid liner, glitter liquid liners can be mostly clear liquid with glitter thrown in, and that's not what I'm looking for. I want something that is very opaque, and this formula is very opaque, so I absolutely love it, and I hope NYX never gets rid of it because these are fantastic. I still love them, and I've used them so many times over the past year. All right, lipsticks, and then we're done. Let's go with this L'Oreal. I forgot what these are called, but it's these. But anyway, I named these as one of my favorites, and the reason I like them is because they are so lightweight on your lips. They are literally like water. You put them on and it feels like you're putting water on, and then they dry down and you think your lipstick's gone. However, they just give a little bit of a tint. Now, these are not like a liquid lipstick that will put up like and stay on your lips through any situation. These are definitely going to be gone the first time you eat, the first time you sip your coffee or something like that. They disappear very quickly. However, I just love them for the comfortability and how beautiful they look on your lips. Like I said, they feel like nothing on your lips. They feel like water, and then after it's dried down, it doesn't feel like you're wearing anything, but it also just looks so natural. It almost looks like your lips are just stained, except it's a beautiful stain, and it's just a gorgeous tint. And yeah, these are the type of lipsticks that I love to have in my purse back when we would go places and didn't wear masks, and if I ever went somewhere and I want to put on a little lipstick, I would throw these on, and I just felt like they were so effortless and so beautiful. So yeah, these are still a big favorite of mine. I know a lot of people don't like them, or I've heard a lot of people say that they don't like them because they don't have a good wear time, and they don't, but I don't really wear them with that in mind. I kind of treat these as a regular bullet lipstick, except that I don't have to worry about them smearing all over my face if my kids hit my face or, give me a hug or whatnot, so I like that about them. So if you're a busy mom, if you prefer lipsticks and you don't like the thick liquid lipsticks that dry out your lips, I would say give these a try because you don't have to worry about them smearing all over your face like a lipstick. And very last up is Menagerie Causemetics liquid lipstick, the Velvet Matte liquid lipstick. I have 3 here in Gator, Sedona, and Growler. I do think they reformulated it or repackaged it. I'm not exactly sure, but I don't know if you can find all these colors anymore. Regardless, I absolutely love this formula. It is a very comfortable, very opaque, and very long-wearing liquid lipstick. I think next to what I have on my lips today, which is Maybelline's Super Stay Matte Ink, this formula is very bulletproof, but it can be a little uncomfortable and a little, what's the word, like finicky as you are eating things and drinking things. It can just feel a little bit thick and weird on your lips. These are like a step below that in like the bulletproofness, but they're a lot more comfortable, they're a lot more easy to apply, and they're a lot more comfortable as they wear down as well. So I really do like them. They're one of my favorite lipsticks, I think, to reach for if I'm wanting a lipstick that will not budge and will look good. This is one of the first lipsticks that I think of and that I'll reach for, especially when I want more fun colors like these two, because it's definitely they're very opaque. So this brown is a very dark brown, and even this mauve color does dry down a bit darker, and the green, I just like a good green. It's fun to spice up a look like today. But yeah, these are still a big favorite. I've worn them so many times over the past year, and yeah, I would still call them a favorite. So they have stood the test of time over the past year. Alright, so those are all the products that I named Best of Beauty for 2019. What do you guys think? I think I did pretty good. There was only like 1, maybe 2 products that I was like, I don't love it as much as I did. But the vast majority I have used and continue to love over the past year. So that is always nice to look back and see, and we'll have to see as the years continue. Maybe I'll move on and find other products, but as of right now, everything that I named, almost everything that I named a favorite of 2019, I still really do enjoy and think they are solid products. So it's nice to see, because I always stress over end of the year favorites because I'm like, oh my goodness, this has to be like the best of the best, and like I don't want to move on next month and find something else. And I think that's the big thing, because there's always going to be new products that come out and the new things that catch our fancy. But for my best of beauty at the end of the year, I don't want to name things that just caught my fancy that year. I want to name things that just stood out and were just so good. It doesn't matter if it's old, I still love it. And all of these kind of fit the bill, and I'm glad to see that I still really do like them. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed getting to look back at my 2019 Best of Beauty makeup favorites. Let me know what you think. Have you tried any of these products either in past years or this past year? But yeah, with all that said, I'm going to keep this outro very short and sweet. If you want to continue getting daily content from me, I'm over on Instagram. I'm LadyKatie92. And if you enjoyed this video, I almost forgot this part. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, as it helps me in the whole YouTube algorithm. And with all that said, I will see you very soon in my next video tomorrow.